Julia.
And I'm Sue.
Welcome to Sticks and Stones.
This is episode 21 of Sticks and Stones. On today's episode, we will see the porcupine quill earrings Sue's been working on. We'll see lots and lots and lots of updates from Julia. And for our DIY section, we'll be making simple but elegant memory wire bracelets. Join us!
Well, here we are again, and it is March, so we're getting warmer. Some beautiful flowers in the background again.
Yes.
I love that. Finally. There's a little bit of blossoming outside. The little crocuses are starting to come up.
Yes, and the snowdrops and the tulips and the daffodils really want to bloom, but it's too cold.
Yeah.
The flowers are actually from the Philadelphia Flower Show that I just went to, and that was lots of fun.
I bet.
Lots of fun.
You need that kind of thing in the springtime to remind you that winter is limited.
Yes. Although it makes you come back and say, I want to rip up my whole lawn today.
Yes.
But it could snow, because we went on Wednesday and it was supposed to snow and it didn't. And I woke up Friday morning and there was snow everywhere. And I thought, what the heck happened? I had no idea.
Yeah.
So,
but we haven't gotten nearly what a lot of places have this year.
Oh, not at all.
We were supposed to get a bunch, but it seems to like blow right past us. So I guess thank our lucky stars.
I guess we're lucky or unlucky depending on your opinion of snow.
Yeah, not much skiing this year,
but a little bit of sunshine in our day.
Yes.
So, what have you been doing since we last met?
Well, I've been working on some projects that I showed you guys last time. So I will start out with the crazy yarn that I showed you. Now they're in balls, and I've started to work on the top. This is the top of the sweater. So this is the back, and the sleeves are here, and then it comes around to the front. But I'm really excited. I've been alternating like I said I was going to, and the colors I think are turning out really cool. There's even a little
you
bit
definitely need to wear sunglasses for that.
I know. Oops, you can't see it. I'm holding it too low. But I'm really excited about it. My daughter loves it, and that's really what counts. So I've got that far done, and I have till mid-April to finish it. So I think I'm...
Well, neon's kind of back in style, so it'll go well.
Everything comes around again. The 80s are back.
Yes.
And I've been spinning some more. I finished up all of the yarn I need for my sweater. So these are the last two bats. I think I was working on this one last time. It was just the one bobbin though. So I applied this one, and then I spun and plied this one, and they're ready to go. And I have started the sweater, and it's turning out way better than I ever expected. And look at those colors.
I love it. That is really gorgeous.
Yeah. I really wasn't sure how they were going to go together and if this green was going to be too light, but I'm really, really happy with it so far.
So this is going to be a sweater, long sleeve sweater?
Short sleeve sweater, actually. Yeah, because I don't think I'm going to have enough for the long sleeves. So again, this is a raglan, so this is the front, and there's a sleeve, and it comes around like this. Hard to kind of see it right now, but my only fear is that it's going to be a little small because my yarn is slightly thinner than I wanted it to be, but I think I can block it big enough. But I'm so excited by the colors.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So
what, you're going to go back into the red and have a big reddish part, a wider reddish part again here? And then back into it, or?
No, I'm just going to I put this here just kind of for some continuance, but I think I'm going to put little bits of red as I go down, but it's going to go into the green and then the blue, and then I'll move into this more subtle red, like the plums, and then I have a really deep plum for the bottom. Okay. So they'll all be different sections. It'll change as it goes. Oh. So I'm really excited about that. I am very excited.
Fun.
And I did finish my socks that I showed you guys the heel of last time. And this pattern is to be released in a few days, so you can watch for it. It's a free pattern called, what did I call it?
Sock Town.
No.
Super Socker.
Well, I don't remember, but I will tell you.
Oh,
I'll put the
you told us last time, but now I can't think of it.
I don't know what my problem is.
It was
pinstripes or something like that. Anyway. This sounds really good, but I can't remember the name of my own pattern, but
you have a lot of stuff on your mind.
So, but these will be released shortly if you guys care to make a pair.
Fun.
And finally, I'm doing a test knit for a girl online.
Ooh, that's pretty.
And I'm doing a lot of raglans. Again, it's a sweater, and I'm trying to make it unisex, but it's gonna have a shawl collar, so this will come around into about a 5-inch front, and then I'll button it up. And it'll be
Nice.
done. So that's just about finished too.
I like it.
Yeah, it's called Rhymes with Shawl. That's what she named it. It's kind of neat. Jenny Wiebe is her name. Wiebe. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, ta-da.
Fun. You've been working hard.
That's what I've been doing. I always have a million projects on the needles, so. You?
Now I've been doing a whole lot. I went to the flower show. That was my big activity last week. Actually, I've been working on porcupine quill earrings. And so this is an old style I did, and I haven't done it in a while, so I decided to redo some. On April 6th, I will be at the Lehigh Valley Zoo. They're rededicating, I think, their North American animal exhibit. And so I'm going to be there as a vendor and demonstrator demonstrating porcupine quill work and horsehair work.
Oh, fun.
So I'll have some of these for sale and lots of other different types of jewelry and earrings and demonstrating, and look at that, it goes with your sweater
Yeah,
today.
usually you get to wear my things.
Well, then you get, go ahead, stick it in there. How many holes do you have
I
that
have
you
a whole
can
bunch,
add?
but I gotta do one here.
Here you
I
go.
have to take one out.
Here's the other.
Ooh, I get to wear the earrings.
So I've been working on those, busy working away on that pattern and another pattern that I had created with those. And
I love them.
Thanks.
They're neat. They're long enough that I can tell they're there, but they're not so heavy and bulky.
Well, porcupine, everybody's always amazed at how light they are.
Yeah.
Because they're porcupine quills, and you just stick the needle through the center of it, and they are extremely light.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that can be a fun activity for anybody local.
Mm-hmm.
Go check her out.
Yes, you can come see the animals. They have a lot of different animals from North America and beyond.
And they're out and about that time of year already?
Yeah, they have them. The zoo's open all year round,
Okay.
and you can go see it. It's just more people go in the summer because
Right.
it's warmer.
I haven't been there yet.
But yeah, it's a fun place. They have animals from all over the world.
Cool.
So
Field trip.
I'll be there in April, and then in May I'll be at the Museum of Indian Culture for their Native American Day. That's an immersion activity for kids. And in June I will be back there for Artifest.
Oh, cool.
So
I'm busy.
I'll be around if people want to come see me if
Yeah.
you're in the Lehigh Valley.
And speaking of April is our
Birthday.
podiversary.
Podiversary. We're gonna come in a pod like
Yeah.
Lady Gaga. Oh my gosh.
Pop
I
out.
can't talk. Yeah.
But the exciting thing about it is, honestly, when we started this, we didn't know what was going to happen, if we were going to make it through a year, if we were going to make it through a month. So it's just kind of fun to know that we've had enough things to talk about.
That it's our podiversary.
Yeah. And I would like to celebrate with you guys, so just keep your ears open for some little surprises coming down the road in the next month.
Yeah. Exactly.
Happy things.
So, yeah, the other thing I've been working on, I was digging these up, is the bracelets that we're doing for our DIY today.
Pretty.
Yes, so these are some memory wire bracelets, the one that I had on today, and this is a yellow one that's fancy dancy, and that's one of my favorites that I made quite a while ago.
It's nice and cool. It
is,
reminds me of
isn't
like
it?
an ice pack on my wrist. It feels
It
nice.
is.
It's beautiful.
So for our DIY today, we're going to learn how to make different types of memory wire bracelets.
Fun. Yay! All right, well, come on back and join us, and we'll see you at the table.
Sounds good. For today's DIY, we're going to be making memory wired bracelets or memory wire jewelry, because you can make necklaces or rings as well. For this project, you need 3 tools. You need your memory wire itself, you need your memory wire cutter, and you need a round nose pliers and a straight nose pliers or chain nose pliers. Memory wire cutters are really essential to this. This wire is extremely hard, and if you use a regular type of pliers, you will put big nicks in it, and then when you go to cut other wire, it won't work as efficiently. So Memory wire pliers, they're called memory wire pliers. You can get them wherever you buy memory wire, and these things are both available at Michael's craft stores and at Hobby Lobby, and I'm sure at AC Moore and other craft stores. When you get your memory wire, it's going to be in a coil like this, and you just have to find the end, which might be the hardest part of this project. There it is. So depending on how many coils you're going to make, for this project we're going to make a single coil bracelet, and so you just follow the coil around and you want it to overlap a little bit, so we're going to overlap about that much, and you're going to take your memory wire pliers and cut. Sometimes it flies away, so be careful. Once you have your memory wire, you need to stop the beads from coming off the end. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your round nose pliers and curl one end. Grab the end of the wire with the round nose pliers and twist. Now this part is actually very hard for kids to do because you do need to use some serious strength to twist this. Now you see there's my end. You can leave it like that, but what I like to do is I like to take the chain nose pliers and I like to bend this loop back a little bit so that when you wear it, it doesn't dig into your wrist. And you can also close up the loop a bit. So that way, after you have your beads on, when you put it on your wrist, you can see that the loop lays flat against your wrist. From there, all you're going to do is start stringing your beads on. And you can put as many as you'd like on. When you do this project with kids, a lot of times they don't fill up the whole bracelet. Adults have a problem with this. We always want to fill it up. But after you string on all of your beads all the way around, on the other end, all you're going to do is use your round nose pliers again and make a curve to end it so that the beads don't fall off. And you end up with a bracelet. This is several links, but a bracelet like this. So a few things to keep in mind about memory wire is it's called memory wire because it has a memory and it always goes back to the way it came. So you can see that you can slide it on your wrist and then take it off. However, if you take it and you do go like this, if you keep doing that, it will get really huge and not go back to its original shape. So you don't want to do that. You want to just slide it onto your wrist like that. Memory wire comes in a few sizes. When you're talking about memory wire bracelets, there are two sizes. There's a large size that's for adults, and then there's a smaller size. You can see that this isn't quite as big for children's size bracelets or for people who have small wrists. You can also get large pieces, which are for necklaces, and then they also make memory wire for rings like this. In addition to being able to turn the loops at the end to finish it off, they do sell beads that you can, silver beads that you can glue onto the ends. I haven't had a lot of success with those. I feel like they pop off even when I use the jeweler's cement unless you really glue them on. So I tend to turn it at the end with the pliers because then you can't get it off. And so that's about all you need to make something as simple as one of these bracelets.
So, bracelets.
You ready to make some?
I think so.
Okay, so we have our memory wire. This is the bigger one. You want the bigger one or the smaller one?
Yeah, the bigger one.
Find the end. And how many loops do you want it? Do you want it one? Do you want it more?
I'll just do one for now and we'll see how it looks.
Okay. I always make it bigger so that the ends, because you have to curl the ends.
Right.
So you don't want it to go from just one end to the other. You want it to overlap a little bit.
Ooh.
I think my memory wire pliers is getting dull because I've had it so long.
And then I have to twist the end.
Yep. Just grab the very tip of the wire with the memory wire pliers. I mean with the round nose pliers.
Ooh, yeah, this is a lot.
It's very hard. Yep, and turn.
Yeah. Now see, I really think that I imagined myself making one of these because I would remember this, and I don't. We had a nice discussion earlier about whether or not I actually made memory bracelets because my pliers weren't chipped and all that good stuff. Yeah, and apparently I imagined it. So, yeah.
There you go.
And you said bend it that way?
I bend it back so that, I like to bend it back so that it ends up being flush with your wrist when you wear it.
Ooh, it is very, very tough to bend this. I am surprised. All right.
That should be good.
Good enough.
So when you start, a lot of times you'll want to put a bead. If you put a bead like this, a pony bead with a really big hole, it might slide off if your loop isn't big enough.
Okay.
And little kids, when they do these, don't know that. So a lot of times you have to put a bead with a small hole, but it's a fairly large bead. If you put a seed bead on, that could also come off because it's tiny. So you need something kind of in the middle.
All right.
A medium-sized bead to start with.
Okay, I'll just go with some
But you
beads.
just slide it on and then start stringing.
Cool. All right. Now I picked blue and green and white today, so we'll see how it turns out.
So, like I said, you can do the single loop like you're doing. You can do multiple loops like this one. This one's multiple loops, or it's actually one piece of wire that goes around multiple times. I guess that's a better way to state it. And so you just twist it on like that.
Fancy.
It's kind of hard to match these so that they don't end up together. You just kind of. This is one of those projects you just kind of wing it.
Okay.
Because depending on how big your wrist is, it expands depending on how big the person's is.
Okay.
This is another one that's one piece of wire but multiple loops. And this one's actually, the beads for this are a little heavy.
Okay.
I actually made this bracelet quite a long time ago. And when my daughter was little, one day she wanted to see it. So I gave it to her. She was about 2 or 3 years old. And she took it and she went like this. And then it was like this all the time. It wouldn't go back together, so I had to restring it.
Like a slinky.
Yes. These are also multiple beads. And this is one of the first memory wire bracelets I ever got. This is before I even knew about memory wire.
I think that's so pretty.
I was interviewing these 2 guys who had been hiking in Utah for the magazine I worked for. And what they would do, and this is, you can't see this up close here, but what they would do is they would go into canyons in Utah, and they would climb up cliffs and whatever, and they would find different petroglyphs that were written on the rocks by Native Americans,
Okay.
and they would copy them down into their notebooks. They would come home and they would make these polymer clay beads that have the different petroglyphs on them, and they make them into bracelets.
Very cool.
So it's really neat because they are true petroglyphs that you can hike somewhere and find.
So you did not make that one?
I did not make either of these two. They made them and gave them to me, and I thought they were really, it's just a really neat idea.
Yeah, it is.
I know nothing about polymer clay.
Ooh, something we can try.
Yes.
Yet another way to burn down your kitchen.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a new microwave yet. We don't need to break it. I think you put that in the oven now.
Did we tell you about that? That we killed your microwave?
This is Barley. He's the crafting dog. Hi, Barley.
Barley's my dog.
And so, did you want to help? You want a bracelet? The other way to use memory wire is these bracelets are like cuffs, and so they are actually individual. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual of these wires, and then I use spacers along the way as I was beading. So when you do this one, you have to actually do them all at the same time. You put the spacer on all the wires, you put all the beads on, put the next spacer. It can get a little confusing, and the hardest part is holding the wires away from each other as you're trying to put the beads on.
Okay.
This is a different kind of cuff where I made all the individual pieces. So you can see there's probably about 10 of them.
Okay.
And I made each one of them, and then at the end I fed a wire through here, and I separated each one with a bead. So I put wire bead, wire bead, wire bead, and just curled the ends. And these are coming back. I've seen a lot more beaded jewelry
so have I.
around lately. And so these are
stackable,
making their way back, so it's a good time to make these.
Yeah, this is actually really easy. It's just a matter of getting the right size bead and combination to get on. I'm finding that these little tiny ones, not all the holes are big enough, but that's okay.
Yeah, they're not always the same size. But
these are the teeny ones. These aren't even like the size I would use for yarn. These would never work for yarn.
Yeah, those are seed beads. They look like they're probably 10s or 8s or something.
Yeah.
But this is a good project to do with kids. You can actually do this project with anybody, any age.
Okay.
As long as they can string beads. And I've done this project a lot of times with Girl Scouts. I've done it with a lot of different kids. The nice thing about it too is my daughter has made these when she was little, and she found them and didn't like them, so she cut them apart.
Oh, made it into something
and
new.
made it into something else.
I bet this would be really good for like a occupational therapist with the pincer grasp or something to do something like this
Yeah, it's a
in
lot of fun.
therapy.
It is
So,
very therapeutic.
Yeah, I like this. This is cool.
Yeah, so the kids tend to just grab beads and they never make a pattern. There's one kid that makes a pattern and is missing one bead, and then the rest of them just kind of put them on and they never fill it up, which makes me crazy because as an adult you want the whole thing filled.
Yeah.
The kids are like, okay, I'm done. I'm like, are you sure? I mean, the beads move around the bracelet.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of funny that they never finish it.
Or they overfill it, so you don't
Yeah,
have room to...
exactly. Yeah,
That's
you
what
have to have
my
that
kids
room
do.
on the end to twist it. So.
And that's all you do is just twist the end and then you're done.
And then you're done. So
Cool.
this is an easy project. You know, you want something that's going to match what you're wearing tomorrow, you can whip one of these up right now.
Ah.
And the longest part is just getting all the beads on.
Cool. Yeah, I like this. We'll see how it turns out. Very good.
All right, well, I think that's about it for us today.
Yeah, join us again next time. And don't forget that April is our birthday month.
Woohoo!
So please stay tuned for surprises and excitement.
Maybe somebody will make us a cake. Maybe we'll bake in your oven.
My. Yes, in mine. We'll break my house today. Actually, we got a new microwave, so I have a crafting microwave now that is strictly for when
For
I decide
crafts
to.
only?
Yes, when I dye something or whatever.
That's great.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to blow mine up. All right, we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.